Hello students, we'll go for the next video for this mass pair spectroscopy. So in the last video we learned regarding the isomer shift for the iron ion complex, okay, iron, so +2 +1 iron. And if you see the order now, okay, so Fe plus 2 has the highest isomer delta value, isomer shift, then Fe plus 3, then Fe plus 4, and final is the Fe here, so which is having the electronic configuration of uh, what is that, 3D 4s2 3D 6, is it a 6 7 8, correct? So since yes, electron, because in this case we learned what, that the isomer shift is inversely proportional to the psi, yes, that is what, number of electrons in the s orbital. So it is inversely proportional. So here 4s2 is there, so more number of electrons is there, so this comes least here, so very less isomer shift we can see here, because it is inversely proportional. And in Fe plus 2 you can see that, in Fe plus 2 you can see that s orbital will be 0 here, okay. So that's why you can see the delta value here will be more, and followed by these things. In the last video we have seen how they correlate, okay. Similarly, if you go for tin now, okay, so in tin delta R is positive here, okay, for tin, like in iron delta R how it is negative, so this part in the equation will be positive here. So if this is positive, this is positive, so what will happen, the relation comes to be directly proportional now. So here the isomer shift is directly proportional to size, quite opposite of iron here. That means the number of electrons in the s orbital increases, the isomer shift also increases, will be high. Similarly, now if you take tin here, having 5s2 5p2, okay, tin plus 5s2 5p1, tin plus 2 5s2 5p0, tin plus 3 5s1 5p0, and plus 4 5s0 5p0. See here. That means plus 4 doesn't have any electron in p orbital as well as s orbital also. So since the isomer shift is directly proportional to s, so there is no electron here, so that's why this will come least, okay. So you can see here Sn plus 4 is the least isomer shift, see here. And very high isomer shift where we can see in Sn plus 2 here. So see here, so directly proportional, so p is 0 here, and directly electron density in s is very high, so Sn plus 2 comes highest here. So isomer shift or chemical shift in Sn plus 2 compound is highest here, while Sn4 compound is the least here, because the chemical shift or isomer shift is directly proportional to uh, s electrons in s orbital electron here. Then it comes Sn plus 2, you can see here. So again screening effect will be there, p1 is there here, and 5s2, yes, no doubt that this is more here electron, but here electron will be screened by the p orbitals. So anyway, but Sn plus comes second position, then followed by Sn here. So Sn has again here 2 electrons, but there are 2 p orbitals which will decrease the screening effect of the, yes, that's why it stands for third position. And Sn plus 3 you can see here. So what is the Sn plus 3 here? So Sn plus 3 5s1 5p0 definitely. So p is not there here, so but it is having how many, 5s1 here. So since it is directly proportional, so you can see here, so this will come in third position, finally this one. So this is how a trend of tin compound we can show here. Okay, so what is the standard for this tin? Again standard varies here, as sodium nitroprusside we have used as a standard for the iron compound. Okay, when we analyze the iron, so we take a standard reference as the sodium nitroprusside. Similarly, when tin is there, so if you want to analyze tin compounds, the standard reference compound we use is barium stannate, BaSnO3. Okay, so this is what. Now, like in ESR splitting, we have seen the similarly the splitting in mass barrel. So we can observe two types: quadruple splitting and magnetic splitting here. So what is this quadruple splitting? Quadruple splitting is observed with I having greater than half here in the ground state or excited state. Either the ground state or excited state, one should have the I value greater than half here. Okay, so in iron we have seen here, so ground state we are having half here, while the excited state one of the iron will have the I value 3 by 2. That means 3 by 2 means it will have 4 degeneracy here. So 3 by 2, 1 by 2, minus 1 by 2, minus 3 by 2. and plus half minus half, Ig value will be ground state I value will be half, and excited state I value for iron will be 3 by 2. So like this, at a degeneracy there is no splitting, and we can see one transition here, in this way. Okay, so centimeter per second or millimeter per second versus absorption here. So these both are in degenerate state. Okay, now coming to here, the main thing here for the transition in MOS beer, we come across a new word, that is a electric field gradient. Okay, what is this electric field gradient? EFG. So electric field gradient, if it is equal to 0, okay, so only one transition is possible, that is one signal, like here. So here EFG, electronic field gradient, is 0. So that's one transition we can observe here. There is no splitting here. Okay, and this selection rule for this is delta mi should be equal to 0 or plus or minus 1. Okay, that is I value, mi value, like ms. So here it should be either it should be 0 or plus or minus 1. This is selection rule. Now if electric field gradient is not equal to 0, yes, now the splitting takes place here. See here, now what will happen if electric field gradient is not equal to 0? So what will happen here? This further splits, which is this further splits, that this splits into 3 plus 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2 plus half minus half, like this. They split into 4. Okay, plus 3 by 2 minus 3 by 2 plus half minus half, like this, and this remains same here, plus half minus half. And now you can see the transition with this respect to this spin selection rule. We can see two peaks here. So when electric field gradient is not equal to 0, you can see here, so we have observed two peaks here, like this way. Okay, so this is a speed. Okay, centimeter per second or millimeter per second versus speed of the source. Okay, so this is what, so two peaks we observe if electric field gradient is not equal to 0, and that is, we call it as a quadrupole splitting. So this is very much important. So two peaks we what we observe here, so we call that as a quadrupole splitting. So when this quadrupole splitting is observed, when electric field gradient is not equal to 0. If electric field gradient is equal to 0, so quadrupole peak is not observed, only singlet. Okay, single peak is observed here for this. Okay, so this is how. So here B not, so no magnetic field still we have is been applied here. And so conclude, what we can conclude, if electric field gradient is equal to 0, quadrupole splitting is also equal to 0. That means only single peak we are going to get here. Then, and what basis, on what factors this EPG, that is electric field gradient, depends on? Electric field gradient depends on the symmetry, molecular symmetry here. So which type of symmetry? Ligand symmetry as well as electronic symmetry. Okay, which plays a dominant role. Electronic will play a dominant role. This ligand symmetry is of axial and spherical. Okay, same thing, electronic, axial and spherical. So what do you mean by this symmetry? So see, if both the symmetries are spherical, if both the symmetry, like ligand and electronic, if both the symmetries are spherical in nature, okay, symmetric in nature, so what will happen? Then we call it as a EFG is equal to 0. See here, that means what? Electric field gradient is equal to 0. When it will be 0? When both ligand and electronic symmetry are spherical in nature, are spherical, same energy, so 0. Okay, and then what we get? We get the single peak. Okay, so in that we will understand one by one. Ligand, what does this ligand symmetry means? Okay, if the ligand what we are using the complex is perfect tetrahedral or octahedral structure, then it is called spherical. Okay, and other things, what are square plane or other geometries, whatever we see, so they come under axial. Okay, similarly in electronic, low spin and high spin, for example D6 system you take. Okay, T2G6 Eg0, so which is of iron, again here iron molecule atom here. So in low spin you can see here 1 2 3 4, so all are paired here, that is spherical. So here also same thing, there is no electrons in Eg. In T2G also all are same here, so that's why it is spherical. But in high spin you can see here 1 2 3 4 5 6 here, that means here it is okay to exactly symmetrically filled, but here one electron is extra here, so that's why it is asymmetric. So that's why it is called as axial symmetry, and this is a spherical symmetry. So here if this is there here, now the electric field gradient will not be equal to 0. So in this case what will happen? In this case it is 0 here, but in this case it is not equal to 0. Now The spherical and symmetric. So for spherical, the symmetry should be filled. You take one example now. FeH2O 6 times Cl3. See, if you see this complex, hexa-aqua complex, so this comes to be very octahedral complex. Okay, so it is octahedral complex. So definitely spherical symmetry is there here. Okay, now here Fe is in which state? Here Cl plus 3 is there. So it is 3 plus 3 state. Okay, it is a plus 3 state. So plus 3 means what? 4s0 3d5 system, that is d5 system. Okay, and aqua molecule is a weak field, so that's why it will go to high spin. High spin means what? 1 2 3 4 5. Now you see, so here also it is spherically filled here 2 exactly, here also exactly 3 filled here, that's why it is also spherically both. Now what happens here? Electronically also it is spherical, and ligand also it is spherical, octahedral structure. So that's why both are spherical, means what happens here? Electric field gradient is 0 here in this complex. When this electric field is 0, field gradient is 0, whether it show quadrupole splitting? No. Now this complex is not going to show quadrupole splitting, but only it is going to show single peak like this. It is going to show single peak. Whereas if you see one more same complex example here, that is your FeCN6. Okay, H2O, instead of H2O we are using strong ligand. Again same thing, plus 3 complex D5 system. So here what happens now? One here the T2G EG, same octahedral complex. Here the since cyanide is a strong ligand, it will bind, it will couple here. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, it will make two pair here, and now you can see here this is axial, this is not symmetrically filled, so this is axial. Okay, though it is symmetrical, but this is not symmetrical, it is axial. Ligand is spherically, definitely ligand HCN6, it is spherically symmetrical will be there, but electronic it is not symmetrical. That's why since electronic is dominant, then this ones, what will happen here? Electric field gradient is not equal to 0 in this case, and that's why this will show now quadrupole splitting. This complex will show quadrupole splitting. Okay, so like this too. Okay, so this is how in today's video we have seen the splitting, that is quadrupole splitting. Here still magnetic splitting is there, so we will see that also in the next video. Okay, and what does this mean? And we have seen the iron isomeric shift or chemical shift on the tin chemical shift. Okay, reference for the tin. And this is how we have we learned some more things in the mass beer spectroscopy. In the next video we'll learn little more examples like of the mass beer and come to the concluding part of this mass beer. Okay, thank you, have a nice time.